That is it. The 2023 State of Origin Series is in the books, and thank you to the almighty footy gods, the New South Wales Blues, in front of their own fans, in front of 75,000 passionate New South Welshmen, except for the 500 loser Queenslanders, because yeah, that's right, Queensland Maroons were on the wrong end of the scoreboard. New South Wales, they were able to avoid a series whitewash, picking up a 24 points to 10 win over those bastard Queensland Maroons. I was very vocal about Freddie, and my points in that video still stand. But the two guys who I had my biggest question marks around when it came to why Freddie has picked these guys, both Bradman Best and the player of the match, Cody Walker, stood up big time, especially in that first half. Cody Walker was the difference. He did have a bit of a quiet second half when DCE was able to adjust and pretty much was just shooting out of the line to try and put pressure on Cody Walker. He peppered that right edge of DCE, Valentine Holmes and Xavier Coates. Those three, including Nanai, had no idea what to do. He couldn't score a point in the first two games, and Cody Walker, he's created a problem, and that was the risk for New South Wales. But look, I'm not even going to get into it because it's 11 months away, and as much as it sucks that Origin is 11 months away, hopefully it can solve some of the questions that have arisen from some of the selections tonight. But Bradman Best as well. A lot of people will not take into account the balls on that man tonight. You know, those tip-ons, they were hard. It would have been very easy for a young player on debut in Origin just to catch the ball and make sure he didn't spill it. But he took on those tip-ons. He created space for Josh Adokar, who finally had space for the first time all series. And another selection, you know, I was very critical of. I wouldn't have had Fox in my Game 3 side. Freddie picked him, and heck, Josh Adokar, he might have just earned himself an Origin jersey for next year, considering finally put into an opportunity where he could create and he could score points tonight, and he took it with both hands. But the big one, James Tedesco, I wouldn't say he's made his Origin jersey safe for next year, but I feel like there's definitely a chance he could be it. Honestly, and I'm probably still going to lean towards he probably won't be playing next year. Now, I'm not saying Teddy can't play. I do feel like the jersey, it's going to be a clean slate and it's up for grabs next year. But James Tedesco, this was easily his best Origin game, probably of the past two series. He was pretty good. You know, 235 metres again, but it was the 2 line breaks, the try assist, the 11 tackle breaks. This was vintage James Tedesco. He was back at his best, and what was so good as well, he didn't get out-leaped by a Ford. Yes, he sort of did with Nanai, but he dropped it. Brian To'o, phenomenal once again. He's averaged over 200 running metres in his 3 Origin series. In the 9 games he's played, he's averaged over 200 running metres every single year. Stephen Crichton, he has been a shining light for the Blues in this series, you know. Creates more questions again, but Stephen Crichton, you got to think that he is the third centre in line. Well, maybe he's number 1. Just depends on how Latrell and Turbo go. Bradman Best, 2 tries on debut. Matty Burton last year. Bradman Best this year. If you get put into that left centre spot on debut, then you are in for a great game. Fox, we've already spoken about him. Cody Walker, like I said, deservingly so man of the match. But for me, it was between him, Bradman Best, and the number 8. Welcome back, Jakey Javovic. Yes, only 64 running metres, but the best defensive player in the competition, bar none. He just hits blokes. Carrigan, Tino, even Cotter, who walked away with the man of the series, and probably deservingly so. They were neutralised by Jake Javovic. They weren't as dominant as they were in the first 2 games. Not to say that they were bad, but they were certainly limited by Jakey. So he was good. I thought Regan was good too. Damien Cook, I think that was his best Origin game in a while. Got darting out a dummy half and was looking very good. Liam Martin, thank God he finally played 80 minutes. Well, again, along with Stephen, one of our unsung heroes in the first few games. He was great. Keon, I think he's going to be there next year. Him and Olakau'atu, I know Freddie hates Olakau'atu for whatever reason, but Keon and him are going to be fighting over this right second row spot for a long time. An advantage to Keon at the moment. He was great. Cameron Murray, look, personally, I think he has to be the 13. And, you know, he was really only the 13 for 20 minutes and then Isaiah Yeo came on. I think Isaiah Yeo, this was definitely his best Origin game of the series. But I think in that first 20 minutes is when we were the most dominant. We got up to that lead in Queensland, couldn't get back into the match. And that was with Murray, Cook, and Cody Walker playing. I don't want to say South Sydney connection because we don't need more club connections. Jacob Saifidi, he did a job. Look, Stefano probably could have done that job, but let's not get into any of it. Let's think positively. Reece Robson had 33 minutes, and then the greatest 4 minutes of Origin football from Clinton Gutherson of all time. Utility forever. Better than Ben Hunt. Yeah, better than Harry Grant. There I said it. Clinton Gutherson, Origin legend. He's going to be there next year. As for Queensland, look, it's hard to bag these guys. You know, if you did a best team in the series, it's nearly going to be over 90% Queenslanders. I think they lacked a lot with Brimson at fullback. Unfortunately for Brimson, while he wasn't terrible, I wouldn't say he was very good either. I think they missed Reece Walsh a lot. And I think if obviously Ponga's going to be available next year too, if they run into this situation again, I think you might go Dearden at 6. That is gross. Munster at 1 and Dearden at 6. DCE, another great game from him. Look, they didn't score tries, but I thought in a Queensland side that didn't really have many opportunities, I thought he was pretty good. 134 running meters from Cameron Munster. Look, I thought this was his quietest Origin game he's had for a while, and he still produced that kind of performance. Ruben Cotter, man of the series, probably deservingly so. I thought, you know, maybe could have given it to Lindsay Collins, but it was between those two and maybe DC as well. Harry Grant, I think that maybe going forward for Queensland, obviously Ben Hunt, I don't think he's retiring from rep football next year, but I think that Ben Hunt starting is the way to go. I reckon Harry Grant coming off the bench and then he can take, you know, a bit of a more pivotal role, I guess. I think at the start of the game, they sort of missed that, just getting the ball early to DCE and Cameron Munster. No, Fafita, they did a job. I'm surprised Fafita only got 34 minutes. I don't know whether he got injured or something during the game. If anyone can let me know in that comment section, or maybe it'll just pop up on Instagram after this. Paddy Carrigan, is he the best middle forward in the world? Another terrific job from him. Another guy who, look, we're talking Collins, we're talking Cotter, DCE, Hammer. The Hammer, an absolute Origin freak. You could, he scored a try in all games. You could have argued he could have got player of the series, but Paddy Carrigan, an 8 out of 10 in all 6 of his Origin games so far, 142 metres. He's like Queensland's Jake. Maybe you swap out the defensive ability Jake has for a bit more attacking upside, but those two are the staples of these sides' forward pack, and I can't wait to watch these two battle it out. Obviously, Carrigan's a lot younger, but as long as Jakey's still kicking in the rep arena, I feel like these two could have some serious battles contending in that Australian forward pack. Lindsay Collins, probably his least Origin game, you know. I don't want to say he's worse because he was still decent. Footwaker, he went all right. Unfortunately, Corey Horsburgh wasn't really given a chance. Look, first run he got Polak. Second run, look, he's got a line break. He's got an Origin line break to his name. So good performances all around from the Queensland Maroons in this series. But thank God the Blues won tonight. There's so much hope for next year. And I bet now we're going into next year's favourites, because that's what we do here in the beautiful New South Wales state. I'm not going to look too far ahead to next year, but it's hard not to. Bradman Best, Cody Walker, Nico Hines, Tom Travojevic, Latrell Mitchell, James Tedesco. There's a million questions. So the off-season, beginning of 2024, we're going to be talking about the Blues team a lot, but we do every year anyway, so let's save that for next year, because Origin is over. It's time for the race to September. Who's making it? Well, I guess we've got 7 weeks to talk about it, but that's it. The best 6 weeks of the year over, especially for Queensland this time around. I was saying before kickoff that this would probably be, if we got swept, the worst series as a Blues fan. Now, I bagged him a lot. Congrats to Freddie and Brandy for getting the win. I would still be looking into a different direction for next year, and I still think that we need a change when it comes to selections and how we pick the side. But if Freddie can remain coach and we have more of a committee, less than, Freddie and Brandy, then I think that maybe give Freddie another year, but we need a director. But congrats to Freddie. Obviously, the players still love him. And that's it. I think we've covered everything. The 2023 Origin Series is over. Queensland go back-to-back. New South Wales avoid the sweep. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in that comment section, what did you make from Game 3? Did you think Ruben Cotter was the player of the series? Just spam those Origin thoughts. Smash that like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any content coming your way, because guess what? It's finals footy in about 6 weeks. And it was 6 weeks since Origin 1. Look how quick that's gone. It's finals footy in 6 weeks. So, subscribe, smash the like button, leave a comment. That's what we call the big 3 around here. Do the big 3, and I'll see you in the next one. That's it for State of Origin football in 2023.